All right, let's look at some area of a floor plan. Here's a coffee shop. So when you're designing a business, like a coffee shop, you're going to have all different types of flooring. So here we have a coffee shop, and this is a schematic or a blueprint for this coffee shop. Something that an architect or a contractor might draw up. And notice that there's different types of textures here. These are called hatchings. That's the term for it. So these different hatchings, the coloring and the drawings, tells us what kind of material it is. So we got concrete, tile, hardwood, and carpet. All right. So we want to find the area and the perimeter of each section. Okay. So actually, let's start out with the total area. All right. I want to show you a couple little techniques for finding the total area and the total perimeter. So area here, notice that this is cut out from a big square. So we got one big square going around here. So you can either find the area of all the pieces on the inside. You know, we could break this up into like that line seems to go across there. That seems to go across there. You know, I could break this into a few rectangles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. If I wanted to find the total area, I could find the area of those 4 rectangles and then add them up. But it's going to be a little easier to see, at least, if we find the area of that big red square. I think it's square, at least it's a rectangle, and then subtract off these little pieces. That's going to be a whole lot easier. So let's think about that. All right. So let's figure out the whole rectangle here. If we add up 14 and 16, that's 30 feet, right? And if we add up 8, 18 and 8 over here, that's 26 feet. And if we add up the other sides, it should be the same thing. This is going to be 30 also, and that's going to be 26. So it is a rectangle. All right. So if we take total area, remember for a rectangle is length times width, 30 by 26. Okay. So that's the area of the whole thing. Now we're going to subtract. So this is the whole. Okay. We've got the whole. And we're going to subtract the 3 little rectangles. Well, this guy is a 10 by 6. That's the dimensions. So we're going to have 10 times 6 is the area. This guy is a 6 times 8, or 6 by 8, we say. So we're going to subtract off 6 times 8. And this thing here is an 8 by 14 rectangle. It's 8 on this side, 14 on this side. So we're going to subtract 8 times 14. Okay. Great. And so we have one big rectangle, and we're subtracting off 3 little rectangles. It's all there. We can see it. Now, we're going to work on writing this as one expression. And we can see that everything's there. These are the small rectangles. Okay? Small rectangles. All right. So let's take our calculator here, and we'll just type it in. And we can let the calculator do all the computation. All right? And so we're going to subtract all these little pieces. 10 by 6, which is obviously 60. And if you want to do some of this multiplication in your head, it's not a bad idea. 6 times 8, you could just put in 48. All right? And 8 times 14. Sometimes, you know, doing some of the simple steps will avoid silly mistakes by typing. All right, that sounds about right. 560 feet there, square feet. Okay, so remember we're talking area here. Area is in square feet. Okay, So let me put my calculator up there for now. So we got 560 square feet. All right. Great. So we got our total area. Yeah, and now our perimeter. So a little technique for the perimeter is this. Right, perimeter. The total perimeter. All right, so let's go see if we can figure out the distance all the way around this thing. So, gonna come zoom in here. So imagine that we were gonna put like some baseboards. That's the wood around the bottom of a flooring. All right, and so we're gonna go, here. See that real red line there? We're gonna put these different baseboards around here. Okay. And kind of hard to see that. Let's get a different color. All right, I've put these green lines around here. There's my baseboards. They're going around the bottom. Now, the perimeter is the distance around a shape. So see this funny looking shape? I could take and I could add up. This is 10 feet plus 6 feet plus that's 14. That's 8 plus 6 plus 18 plus 16 plus 8 plus 14 plus 12. But there's a lot nicer way to do that. Watch this. I just need to add up all these green pieces. So I'm going to take that green piece and slide it over there. I'm going to take that little green piece and come on, green piece, slide it on over there. Now these are supposed to, I didn't draw the lines quite right, but they go the whole way. Okay, this guy's going to go over there. I'm going to move it on up there. Take this one, slide it on up there. Remember, perimeter is just all these green pieces added up. Well, look what I have now. The green pieces added up is going to be just this total square right there. See that thing? So all I got to do is find the perimeter of that square. The perimeter of that square is the same as the perimeter of this funny little squiggly shape here. Okay? And that'll work anytime we have a shape that doesn't concave. If you want to find the perimeter of a shape that looks like this, bump, 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 if it's got a whole bunch of steps like this, doesn't matter as long as it doesn't cave in on itself. So the perimeter of that funny little green shape right there is going to be the same as this rectangle that goes around it. Okay, I kind of missed there, but anyways. Okay, so cool. Well, let's just find the perimeter of the whole thing there. Great. That's all we need to do. So the perimeter of the whole thing is the perimeter of that square or that rectangle there. We found out the rectangle is 30 by 26. So we have the perimeter is going to be, we have two 30s, two sides that are 30. So 2 times 30. And then 2 times, now, kind of jumped the gun here. In the back of your book here, you've got some formulas. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So the perimeter is 2 times 30 plus 2 times 26. And that's going to be 60 plus 52 equals 112 feet. So if we want to go all the way around it, we need 112 feet, all right? Cool. All right, well, now let's jump into these smaller pieces. On page 133 in your book, you've got this formula sheet. So we're going to use some formulas off of that. So you might want to look back as you're doing your assignments and things. Look at those formulas. There's that perimeter formula, area of a rectangle, length times width. We're going to use a circle here in a second, area, pi r squared. Circumference, 2 pi r, distance around. Some of these should hopefully be familiar. We're going to use a triangle formula, area is base times height. Perimeter, there's no fancy formula, just add them all up. That's the deal, okay? So we're going to use those, whoops, there. All right, so let's get that out of the way for now. But page 133 be referring to that. So, all right, let's get through some, let's look at some different shapes here. Okay, so let's start with the concrete. Let's go with tile. All right, so we're going to find the different areas. The tile here, that's this area right here, it's a rectangle. And so that there's only one area of tile. That's like the back. I'm guessing that's where like the serving area is maybe. Okay, so that this is where this is our coffee shop. So this is probably where the espresso machine and stuff are, and the counter and stuff. So the area is going to be a rectangle. So our area is going to be 5 times 12. All right. So area equals 5 times 12, which is 60 square feet. So we need 60 square feet of tile. All right. That wasn't too hard. Well, let's go for some concrete. Okay, so concrete, that's the hatch, or the texture is, it looks like this. So they got these two shapes. Now, these are trapezoids. Okay, so concrete, we got trapezoids. So how do we find the area of a trapezoid? Let's go to our formula sheet here. And here's our formula. Trapezoid formula looks like this. 1/2 times the height times the two bases. The bases are the parallel sides. All right? So the parallel sides. So we've got to look at this, these parallel sides here. And for this this trapezoid right here, this guy right here, let's start with that. All right. We've got some bases, and so we've got to figure out what this is here. Well, this whole distance is 10, and this little distance down here is 5. So 10, and this guy's 5 here, so this guy has to be 5. All right, that works. Now let's see what's this other base. Well, this is 14. This distance here is the same right there. That measurement is 14. Subtract 5, and we have 9. So, and then this height right here is 12. That's our height. Okay. So we're all ready to go with that area. So the area of that trapezoid is going to be 1/2 times the height, which the height is 12, times 5 plus 9. What that is, by the way, is we're just averaging the 5 and 9, because we're taking 1/2 of 5 plus 9. That's an average, and then multiplying by the height. That's really what's going on. Okay, so that's that one. Now, we've got another trapezoid that we need to add on here, and that's this guy right here. You got to kind of turn your head sideways, or turn your computer sideways, or whatever if you can. Here, this is the height of that. The height is a distance between the two bases. The base here, okay, let me highlight this. We're now looking at this trapezoid here. That's a trapezoid because one side is slanted. Can you tell there? And so this is 6. We're getting that from this distance over here. This distance is 8. That's given to us. So 6 and 8, those are the two bases. That's our A and our B in that formula. All right, so our second area, our second trapezoid that is concrete, we've got a height of 14, and then we've got 6 plus 8. All right, now we just need our calculator here, which I think I can bring in here. So we can type this in our calculator. We got 1/2 times 12 times 5 plus 9, 1/2 times 14 times 6 plus 8. There it is. Now, by the way, when you're typing things in your calculator, you know, if you can do a few things in your head, it'll be quicker and often more accurate, because you'll make mistakes when you type things in here. And by the way, notice I didn't put a times there, but the calculator, your scientific calculator, will understand that that's times. And here, that's times also. So, and if I was typing this in my calculator, I would just do this part in my head. And so 1/2 times 12, well, we know that's 6 times. And 5 plus 9 is 14. Plus, so just kind of did these two, that part of my head, that part of my head. It's going to be quicker than typing. I know 1/2 times 14 is 7, and that is 14. So if you can kind of start the order of operations in your head, you're going to do a lot less typing and you'll be just as accurate, maybe more accurate because you'll make fewer typing mistakes. All right? All right, let's shrink this guy down and put that aside for now. So we had 182. All right. Again, we're taking all the parts. We're trying to make one expression. It's going to make things nice and neat. We should see a trapezoid plus a trapezoid. That includes everything. Okay. All right. Let's go for this. What is that? The carpet. Let's do this carpet here. Carpet's kind of a funny shape. It's got a circle cut out of it. Okay. But let's go for that next. So we got the carpet. So for this carpet, we've got to break this up into a couple shapes. Ignore the circle for a second, all right? But we've got this rectangle, and we've got this trapezoid there. See the trapezoid? All right, so let's find the area of those two, and then we'll deal with the circle, all right? So, carpets, I don't know what happened to that. All right, let's see. Carpet, we've got the area of the rectangle. Let's start with the rectangle down here. It's 8 by 16. 8 by 16. Plus, we've got this trapezoid right here. The two bases of the trapezoid are 6 and 16. You see that? 6 and 16. So those are the two bases. Okay, so we have 1/2 times the height of the trapezoid is this guy right here. What is that? Well, let me put my 6 and 16 down. 6 plus 16, that's like the A plus B in the formula, if you look at the formula sheet. Well, this whole thing is 18. This bit is 8, so this bit here must be 10. So we're going to multiply by 10. Now, that is the rectangle plus the trapezoid. We need to subtract the circle, all right? So what's the radius of the circle? You know what? I think it doesn't tell us, does it? We're not told. Oh, I'm sorry, it does. Yeah, it's hidden in there. See that in there? The diameter. So the diameter is 10 feet, and so the radius here has got to be 5 feet, okay? That radius is 5 feet. And the area of a circle is pi r squared. We got that in our formula sheet there. Area, pi r squared. I'm going to use that. So we're going to subtract the circle because the carpet is not going to have a circle there, okay? So minus pi r squared, so pi times 5 squared. And then we're going to go type that all in our calculator. Okay, so typing that in our calculator, we get 159.46. All right. All the pieces that are rectangle plus a trapezoid minus a circle. All right. Now, again, I would have typed this as 5 times 16, save a couple steps, but I want to leave that exact so we can see that, or type it all out so you can see it. Okay. We'll round off to 1 decimal place is good. So, all right, there's our calculation there. Type that over there. Great. So, that's the carpet. Now, the last thing we have here is the hardwood. The hardwood is this circle plus this triangle. Well, we found the area of this circle. This triangle is going to be a little more challenging, but actually we don't need to go find them individually because we found everything. We found the total area, right? What's our total area? Total area was 560 square feet. We found all the other shapes. We found concrete, check. Tile, check. Carpet, check. We just need the hardwood. So if we subtract each of these boxes from 560, we have what's left, which is hardwood. How's that sound? That triangle is going to be tricky to find, so let's do that. Let's take 560, that's the total area. Oh, this, by the way, is hardwood. So let's take the total area and subtract off each of them. We're going to subtract off this tile, subtract off the concrete, and subtract off, didn't box it, let's box it, the 159.5 carpet. And so, for the grand finale, we get 158.5 square feet. There it is. So that total area, even though we weren't asked for it, came in handy. Now there is part of the problem that we kind of skipped over here. So notice we were asked for the perimeter of each section also. Well, I'm going to do part of this and leave part of it kind of for you to work on as good practice, all right? We have a rectangle. We can find the perimeter of that here, all right? I'll let you find that one. That one's pretty straightforward there. And then we have this shape. Well, we found out 6, 14, and 8. What is this? Well, to find this, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need some Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to need a right triangle. Let me make that a little bolder. Okay. So we're going to need to make a right triangle out of this. And with this right triangle here, we know that this distance is 6 and this distance is 8. So this guy is 2 and this is 14. And this is C. So we know 2 squared equals, 2 squared plus 14 squared equals C squared. So with our calculator, we can square root both sides and we can find C. And I would recommend just typing it all in like this. Square root of 2 squared plus 14 squared. That's how I type it out on the job site. And on the calculator, just bust that out. We got 14.14. Okay. And we can repeat that for these other ones. Here we've got another right triangle. Pardon my not so straight lines there. That would be a right triangle. We've got 5 and 9. So this guy is 4. And this is 12. So for this one right here, we've got 12 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. C is the hypotenuse. So we'll get the calculator out to find that. Again, we'll just kind of punch that all in as a square root here. And that gives us 18.4. So this thing here is going to be 18.4 feet. Okay. And what about this other side here? Let's get our calculator out of here. So this one's going to be a little interesting. Let's see if we can get a triangle for that. We're going over, up, and down. And so how far over are we going? Well, we know... What do we know? We know this whole distance is 14. And we know this bit we found out was 4. So this guy's got to be 10. And we know this vertical distance here is 12, and that's 2, so this has got to be 10. So this is going to be 10 squared plus 10 squared equals C squared. A lot of stuff going on here. And so we can find that length with our calculator again. 10 squared plus 10 squared equals C squared. So square root of 10 squared plus 10 squared. 14.14 or 14.1. All right. So this guy here is 14.1. Okay. So now we have everything we need to find the perimeter, all right? So the perimeter of that hardwood is this triangle. This triangle here, let's add those up, plus the circumference of the circle. All right, so let's come down here and we'll get that perimeter. So we have those three parts of the triangle plus the circumference of a circle here. Circumference is 2 pi r right there. And so 2 pi r, the radius is 5. So we have 2 pi times 5. And if we add those up, we're going to get 78.01. So that is 78.01 feet. So if we were going to put like a border on there, we'd need 78 feet of border roughly. All right. So that's the hardest one there. All right. So the other ones here, I'm gonna kind of let you work them out. Here's some answers. We get some of these here. For the tile, we get 34 feet here, okay? For the concrete, if we add all these up here, we're going to get 85.5 feet. And then for the carpet, we have to add up all of, let's see, where'd we go? For the carpet, we've got to add up all of these distances for like a border or a trim around the carpet. We'd also have to add the circumference of the circle. So, because if you were going to put hardwood next to carpet, you would have some kind of trim piece most likely there. And so let's add up all those distances. Here it is here, plus the circumference. Remember, circumference is 2 pi r, okay? And so 2 times pi times 5, and in the end, we get 93.5 feet of trim. Okay, I think we got all our perimeters. Lots, that's a big problem. So lots going on. You can see lots of challenging math going on to find the perimeter and the area of flooring. All right, so great job. If you're still alive, you're still awake, and you made it through all of that, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. Do a little dance, maybe a little Fortnite dance of your favorite type or whatever. And yeah. Good job. You made it. Congratulations. All right. We'll see you soon. Work hard. Keep it up.